Welcome to the episode 1 of the 3 o'clock podcast. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please visit flatcampus.com/podcast. Okay, today's tip comes from a client. I'm working on two fronts. One is his personal life, his personal files, and for that we are using the timeline system in Obsidian. We are building it from scratch, from zero. To give you some context, he was an Evernote user and he wants to move to Obsidian, but he wants to start everything over. And there's also a part of the consulting that is related to his company. For that, we are using Agile, Trello, and other team tools. Okay, our focus is Obsidian and the timeline system. So he created the three containers of information, the parent folders for the action containers, static containers, and the timeline. And he was showing me what he had inside each one, why he decided to put all those subfolders, those files inside each one of them. But there was this loose folder. It was the investments folder. And I was curious to understand why he didn't included that as a subfolder in one of the three containers. Why is that so important that is out there? And I asked him, can you explain me why it is there loose outside the structure? And he started explaining me what the folder was. He was not telling me why he did that, but he was explaining that that was a place where he would add the investments, information about the investments, even spreadsheets, everything, PDFs, notes. He was constantly talking in present participle tense. And I was like, did you notice how you talk to me about this space? You are constantly doing, reading, saving, working. And if that's the case, I see it as work in progress. And if it is work in progress, I think it should be inside the action container parent folder. So move the subfolder, move it as a subfolder inside the action containers, because that's something you are doing. And he thought for a moment and said, "Yeah, that makes sense." And I tried to give him more context, and this is the point of today's episode. The idea here is to narrow things down, because if you have today it was just investments, but tomorrow it can be another folder and another, and suddenly that left sidebar in Obsidian will be very long with a lot of folders, and you have to kind of guess where the information is or come up with a very complex system. So the idea again is to narrow down things. So if it is something that I'm doing, so let's say I'm gonna take note of something related to the investments, or check some information, some notes I did in the past. So if it is something I'm doing, if it's an investment is something I'm doing, if it is something I'm doing, it's probably inside the action container parent folder, inside the folder that is related to whatever it is that I'm looking for, in this case, investments. I can even share another story with you that shows how that works. The other day I was talking to a friend and I wanted to show him, I was with my computer and I wanted to show him an article I was reading. If I am reading, I'm currently reading, it is probably inside the parent folder action containers and inside a subfolder, in my case, which is called reading. So it was very fast to go there and find the article I wanted to show him. This is basically why the system structure is so simple. I wanted it to be a natural thing. It's an action. So let's go to the action parent folder and find all the subfolders, find the one related to what we are doing right now. And in his case, I told him, if this is something really important and you want to have a way to get to it very fast, you can always create a bookmark. And that's what I told him to do. Create a bookmark, and you can even drag the bookmark icon on the top of the list all the way to the left of the list, and then it's going to be the first thing you see when you open Obsidian. You can tap and click on the bookmarks, and inside the bookmarks you see your bookmarks, in this case the investments folder bookmark. Okay, that's it for this one. If it was helpful, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, star, like, whatever, a comment, whatever it is. Talk to you soon.